Kris asked a very profound question, and the question is, he posted a comment on the blog, the Ageless Adept blog. I'm trying to fast too. How do you fast without getting the urge to eat? Great question, and it brings to mind a couple things that I'll share with you that I hope will be helpful. First thing that came to mind was a book by Susan Jeffers titled Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And admittedly, I haven't actually read the book, but the title is a winning title, and I love the title, and I recommend that course of action. Feel the fear and do it anyway. A lot of people believe that courageous people who exhibit a certain amount of courage and are referred to as heroes, for example, are acting without fear. The truth is that in many cases, they actually still have the fear, but they've conditioned themselves to act anyway, despite the fear. So they feel the fear, but they do it anyway, because there's a greater payoff, there's a greater reason to, there's a greater motivation. So just because you have a fear doesn't mean that you can't act as well. Similarly, if I were writing a book based on that concept, I would call it Feel the Hunger, but Fast Anyway. Feel the hunger and fast anyway. Just because you're feeling hunger doesn't mean you have to give in to it. Let me share a couple things. If we were living in a society that valued health and courage and other things, we would already know how to do a lot of this. And it wouldn't be that difficult or that challenging. If you look around at our society, you'll see images, advertising images of lavish meals and, people biting into hero sandwiches and hamburgers that are bigger than their heads. And that has come to be normal. So we have 3 meals a day. So you eat in the morning, then you eat at lunch, and then you eat at dinner, then you eat a snack, then you sleep for a few hours, and you get up and you do it again over and over and over. And I believe that that's unnatural, unnecessary, but it has come to be normal in this and accepted in this capitalist paradigm that we live in, where the goal is to consume as much as possible, eat as much as possible, live as lavishly as possible so that the economy keeps going. But if you live that way, then you are being controlled. That means all an advertiser has to do is, flash some images of some Happy Meals on the screen, and you automatically, like Pavlov's dog, automatically start to salivate and you act. So one of the reasons that you want to fast. Now, if you look at if you go to fastandgrowyoung.com and get a copy of the stages of fasting infographic, you'll see that there are a lot of benefits that you'll derive from a fast, an extended water fast, or even a lemonade fast. But beyond that, in addition to that, and as a secondary goal, one of the reasons that you want to fast and to get good at fasting is so that you can master yourself, so that you can gain mastery over yourself, so that you're not controlled by advertising, so that you're not just simply reacting rather than acting, so you're not just simply a passenger in the car of your life. So one of the reasons and one of the benefits that I see of fasting is that you gain mastery and control over yourself, so you're not manipulated, so you're not simply reacting, so that you can see a bowl of food and not eat it, so that someone can offer you even your favorite meal and you say, no thanks, right now I'm fasting. So if you have that ability to actually deprive yourself and refrain from just acting, spontaneously, based on immediate gratification, then you've achieved something great that a lot of people on the planet or a lot of people in Western society aren't able to do. And that's one of the benefits. So just because you are feeling hunger doesn't mean you have to act on it. And the process, whether you start with a 12-hour fast and then move up to a 13-hour fast and a 14-hour fast, the goal in my opinion, is to get to a point where you are in control of your body, where your body is not controlling you, where your urges are not controlling you, where your desires and your hunger pangs are not controlling you. So just because you are feeling hunger doesn't mean you have to act on it. Yes, I know it's challenging. Yes, I know, but that's if it were easy, then everyone would be doing it and no one would have to do it. So to gain mastery over yourself, to gain control over your diet, to lose weight, whatever it is your goal is with the fasting, to heal certain afflictions, it's going to take work. It's going to take courage and discipline. And I believe if you have courage and discipline, you can achieve anything in life. And this, again, you can work up to it, because just like anything else, whether you're driving a car, whether you're working on an exercise routine, building muscle as a weightlifter, you start small and then you build up, and eventually you get good at and get better at what it is you want to achieve. So start with 12 hours, then move up to 14, whatever the goal is. But that's number one, is that you don't have to respond to every hunger pang. The next thing is a little easier to digest, if you will, and that is, the question was, how do you fast without getting the urge to eat? Now, what I have found is that within the first day, first 2 days, maybe the first 3 days, 72 hours will be the hardest. Not because of hunger necessarily, but because of habit. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times when a certain time of day comes up, you have been so conditioned, you're so habitually used to eating, that you again, like Pavlov's dogs, just start salivating because it's 12 o'clock, or just start feeling that you should eat because it's 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7. So the goal is to get past that first 24, 48 hours, because your body will actually, the cravings will actually decrease. So those first 2 days, let's say call it 2 days, after those first 2 days, you'll actually find that the cravings will actually decrease, and you won't feel hunger. As you may know, if you read the blog, I did a 45-day fast, and after the first 2 or 3 or 4 days, I actually had no hunger at all. It then becomes easier to maintain the fast. Your body has adjusted itself and acclimated to the reduction in food, and so you are not feeling hunger. So the challenge is getting through that first 2 days. You can try sleeping, you can try going out in the neighborhood, driving around, walking around. You can try working on a hobby or a task or something. But it is not, I am sure, or I hope you've had an experience where you've been involved in a passion-centered project, and you've been working so diligently that 24 hours go by and you haven't eaten. Or you may be on a long international flight, and 15 hours, 20 hours pass and you haven't eaten anything. So it is possible for you to go 24 hours just by accident. So it should not be, it might be a challenge, but it's not a stretch for you to be able to go 24 hours without eating. So that's the challenge. That's what you have to rise to. That's what you have to get beyond, is that first 48 hours. And then you'll find that your body will distinguish between habitual hunger and real hunger. And the real hunger actually goes away, and the habitual hunger is something that you can work on, and you can hopefully have more persistence to wean yourself off of. Another thing that I'll suggest, just as a little cheat, is sometimes you might feel that you just want to chew something, just want to crunch on something. One of the things that I do with the longer fast, when I just feel like my teeth need some exercise, is I'll get some spry gum and chew that, for a few. Not the best solution, because the xylitol in it might activate some of the digestive processes, but it gives your teeth, some, and your jaw some activity. So anyway, hope that's helpful. And so that's the answer to the question: how do you fast without the urge to hunger? And if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment below the video, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.